In 8th grade, I was accused of SAing someone at school. Story time. So this was a really weird experience, and I still don't have a lot of answers. But here's what happened. I was new to the school at the beginning of 8th grade, and I was really relieved when this girl invited me to sit with her and her friends at lunch. So every day I would sit with this girl. I literally don't even remember her name. We'll call her Amanda. She gives me Amanda vibes. I didn't have any classes with Amanda, or really her friends either. I would just see them at lunch. Pretty early on, she started doing something where she would like jokingly grab my breast. It's like, you know, when you smack another girl's butt or something, like it was kind of a thing, and it always caught me off guard, but at the same time I was like, oh, she's just like being silly and goofy, so like whatever, it's fine. But like sometimes she would really be squeezing hard because she would just like do it really fast and it would like hurt, but I never said anything. So probably a couple months go by and she's doing that pretty regularly, okay? Like 2-3 times a week she would do that, okay? Then one day, we're talking, I don't know if I was telling a story or a joke, but as I'm talking, I realized it would actually go with whatever I was saying if I did that to her this time, okay? Normally, I would never do that to somebody, but she did it to me like all the time. So I was like, she'll think that's hilarious because apparently that's her humor, and it like went with whatever I was saying. I don't even remember. So I do it, we laugh it off, everything seems normal, right? Until I get called to the dean's office. The dean tells me that this girl reported me for doing that to her. Now, I was facing like serious consequences for SAing. Like they used that word, or like sexual harassment or something, like it was like a big deal. And I was shocked that like I was even being like, what? The dean even goes on to tell me that this girl apparently had dealt with SA in the past, and so she had like trauma. And I remember thinking that was really weird that he told me that, because that seemed like really personal. Like you're not supposed to like tell students stuff like that, right? I was just like appalled and like shocked, because I'm like, dude, like she does that to me every day. Like that's the only reason I would have never done that. I would have never done that. But she did it to me like so many times, and she would do it hard. But here's the thing. I didn't want to explain that to the dean, because at my old school, I had been in trouble a few times, okay? Not for anything like this, but I knew, I was in the same county, so I knew that the way that this works at these schools is that, like, okay, for example, if someone could come up to you and punch you in the face, you do nothing, you don't even defend yourself, you go straight to the dean, there's a chance that you get RPC'd because you were in an altercation. Like, that's how unfair it is, okay? So an RPC is like being suspended, except that instead of it being a suspension, it's, oh, just so while we do an investigation, but you can't go to school. It's like ridiculous. And like your parents don't understand that you're not suspended. So no matter what, even if you didn't do anything wrong, your parents are like, what the fuck? Or at least my parents were. So I didn't want to admit to the dean that I did it at all in order to explain my side of it. Usually I'm honest to a fault, as you can tell from my whole TikTok page, but my gut was telling me to just deny it completely. And I didn't want to tell my mom either, because she had like found, like a few years prior when I was like 11, she confronted me one time and said that she like looked at my internet history and saw that I looked up on YouTube like girls stripping. I was having like a bi-curious crisis like in my home life, and I didn't want my mom to then think that I was like a pervert, okay? So I like, usually I would tell my mom the truth, but I didn't even want to tell her. This whole like being accused of that like brought out a lot of shame. Like that's so embarrassing. Like I'm being accused of being like a pervert, like of touching someone inappropriate, like. So I just deny, and the dean is like, well, we're gonna look up footage on the security cameras, and if we find it, like, you're in trouble. Like, I don't know if I would have gotten expelled or what, but God had my back, because when they pull up the footage, they had the wrong day entirely. Like, I was wearing a different shirt than the day that happened. And he still tried to say that he could see on the camera me doing that. But my mom looked closely and she was like, no, she's just sitting there. Like, I was just sitting there with like my elbows out. So needless to say, I never sat with that girl again. I don't know what the what that was about. I never like confronted her or asked her. I guess I should have, but I don't even think I like really saw her after that. I don't know what happened, but it was so embarrassing, and I was so confused. And I felt so bad that, like, did I make her feel like that? Like, I would never want to make someone feel like that or like bring out trauma, especially in that way. But like, why would you report me to the dean after, like, you did that to me? Like, you, what? I don't know.